My mother-in-law left a negative review on my Etsy shop under a fake name. She thought I'd never find out. Sales plummeted. My husband said, "It's not that big a deal." That's when I cross-referenced the username with her email history. I've been making and selling handmade jewelry for a little over 3 years now. It started as something to keep me sane when I lost my job in 2020. At first, it was just something to do while I applied for new work. I never expected it to grow the way it did. By 2022, it had become my full-time job. I ran a small but steady Etsy shop, mostly resin pendants, clay earrings, and some custom wedding orders. I wasn't making 6 figures or anything, but it paid our bills. And more than that, it was mine. My husband, Matt, was supportive in the beginning. Or at least, he didn't complain. He liked the extra money coming in. But his mom, Diane, she never took it seriously. Diane's the kind of woman who judges people by job titles and brand names. She worked as an office manager for years and still talks like she runs a Fortune 500 company. I've heard her tell people I dabble in arts and crafts, as if I were hot gluing popsicle sticks instead of shipping 60-plus orders a month. Every time she visited, she'd make comments. "Still playing with your beads? When are you going to go back to work?" Matt deserves a woman who contributes more. I used to just smile and nod, for Matt's sake. I didn't want to be the reason he fought with her. Then last October, my sales dropped out of nowhere. I just had my best summer yet, so I figured maybe it was just a dip. But when I checked my shop page, I saw a new review that made my stomach drop. 1 star. Username: Kathy H. 2022. This seller is rude, unprofessional, and her products are junk. My necklace arrived cracked. When I messaged her, she told me I must have broken it myself. Don't waste your money. I stared at it for a long time. I don't talk to customers like that. Ever. I would never accuse someone of lying about a damaged item. And I checked, there was no message like that in my inbox. No refund request. Nothing. I reached out to Etsy, showed them the review and my lack of messages, but they wouldn't remove it. Said it didn't violate their terms. Just like that, my shop dropped in the rankings. Sales fell hard. I got maybe 2 orders a week for almost a month. It was like watching everything I'd built start to die, and I couldn't stop it. That review. It just wouldn't leave my head. Something about it felt off. Not just angry, but targeted. The wording sounded familiar. The tone, even the phrases, reminded me of someone. And then one night, it hit me. I remembered an old email address Diane had used once, years ago, when she accidentally placed an Amazon order using Matt's account. She'd ordered a foot massager, and I saw the email pop up in our shared inbox. I looked at the Etsy review again. Searched the email tied to the Kathy H. 2022 account through a customer lookup tool I use. Same email. Same damn email. She didn't even bother to hide it well. I showed Matt. I thought he'd be furious. I thought he'd be on my side. Instead, he shrugged. "She probably didn't mean anything by it," he said. "It's not that big a deal." Not that big a deal? I lost almost half my income that month. I had to cancel our anniversary trip. I had to dip into our savings. And she thought she could destroy my work from behind a fake name like it was nothing. She wanted to hurt me, and Matt defended her. I didn't yell at him. I didn't scream or pack a bag. I just went quiet. I nodded, and I started keeping notes. This woman tried to ruin me, and now I had proof. But I wasn't going to confront her, not yet. No. I wanted her to feel it. Now I'm watching everything, recording everything. I'm tracking what she says, what she does, even what she posts on Facebook. Because the moment's coming. She took a swing at me. She thought she could get away with it. She's going to regret ever thinking I was weak. After I found out Diane left the review, I couldn't look at her the same. She smiled in my face, complimented the house, asked about my little business, while she sat there knowing she'd sabotaged me. And Matt? He acted like I was overreacting. Said, "You're too sensitive," and she probably didn't mean it that way. He kept brushing it off like I was crazy. I stopped talking to her unless I had to. But I didn't tell her I knew. I didn't want her to cover her tracks. I wanted her to feel safe. I started paying attention to what she posted online, passive-aggressive memes about entitled millennials, long rants about people who can't handle a little criticism. She even made a post saying, "Some people just don't want to work. They want to play with glue and call it a job." She didn't tag me, but she didn't have to. Around Thanksgiving, Diane came over for dinner. Matt begged me to host, so I said fine. She walked in with a fake smile and a cheap bottle of wine and gave me a hug like we were close. I wanted to throw her out, but I smiled and kept it together. At dinner, she accidentally brought up how Etsy shops are full of scammers now. "I read this story about a woman selling junk jewelry," she said, looking me dead in the face, "and she got exposed by a brave customer who left a review. The truth always finds a way out." Matt laughed. I clenched my teeth so hard I thought I'd crack one. After that night, I started keeping a folder. I printed the review, took screenshots of her email, her Facebook posts, notes on what she said when she said it. I found out she had a small retirement account she boasted about in her Bridge Club newsletters. She posted the same damn screenshots in her bragging Facebook groups. I started connecting dots. I wasn't just angry, I was focused. Then in January, Matt told me something that changed everything. He said he'd invited Diane to move in with us temporarily while her condo was being fumigated for mold. I stared at him. "You're letting her live here? It's just for a few weeks. It's cold out." "You're being unfair." Unfair? This woman torpedoed my shop, lied about me online, took money out of our household, and now she was going to sleep under my roof? I didn't argue. I just started preparing. I moved all my business documents to a password-protected drive, changed every login. I made sure she couldn't snoop around when she got here. I bought a hidden camera, put it in my office, near my jewelry table. I had a feeling she wouldn't be able to help herself. She moved in mid-February, brought 3 oversized suitcases and a smug little smirk. "You'll hardly notice I'm here," she said. That was a lie. She commented on everything. My cooking, my work hours, the price I charged for my pieces. One night she walked past my office and said, "Still pretending you're a real businesswoman?" I turned on the camera every time I left the room. And it worked. 3 weeks in, I caught her on video going through my packaging station. She picked up a finished order, took it out of the box, bent the necklace, then put it back. Later that night, I got a message from that customer. The necklace arrived broken. Not sure what happened during shipping. That was it. That was the moment. She was still trying to ruin me. I saved the footage, labeled every file, every lie she told, every little sabotage. I wasn't just collecting proof anymore. I was building a case, because I wasn't just going to get back at her for the review. I was going to make sure everyone saw who she really was. About a week after I caught Diane bending the necklace, things got even worse. She started messing with my shipping. I couldn't prove every detail, but I knew it. Orders were going out late even though I was on schedule. A few customers said their packages looked like they'd been opened and retaped. I checked with USPS. No signs of damage in transit. Then one morning, I walked into my office and found my printer jammed with thick cardstock that I never use. Shipping labels were missing. 3 packages I'd prepped the night before were gone. I checked the camera. She had unplugged it, but I'd set it to upload to the cloud. So even though it wasn't running live, I got a clip of her fumbling around with it the night before. She wasn't being slick. She was sabotaging me. I confronted Matt. I showed him the footage, the broken necklace, the timestamps, the customer messages. His face went blank. I don't know what to say, he said. "She's trying to destroy my business. You see that now, right?" He sat down and rubbed his face. "She's my mom. And I'm your wife." He didn't respond. That night, I slept in the guest room. Not because I was angry, I was exhausted. Tired of defending myself in my own house. But something else had shifted. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was cold. 2 days later, I got a call from a woman named Allison. She said she was a wedding planner based in upstate New York. She was trying to verify an order she said she placed last month through email. But I had no record of it. No email. No order. She forwarded me the conversation. It wasn't my email. It was close. It had my shop name, just with an extra letter at the end. The reply address looked like mine, but ended in @gmail.com instead of @shopmail.com. The email tone was rude, unprofessional. The fake me asked for payment through Venmo. Allison had already sent $200 for a custom order. That's when it hit me. Diane wasn't just sabotaging my reviews. She had made a fake version of my shop. I didn't know how long it had been running. I didn't know how many people she'd tricked. But she had copied my branding, stolen my photos, and was pretending to be me. I traced the email using a reverse lookup tool. The recovery phone number matched the last 4 digits of Diane's. I called Matt. He didn't answer. I texted him. I need you to come home. We need to talk. Now. When he got back, I laid it all out. The screenshots. The fake email. The payment request. The woman who thought she was ordering from me. I showed him everything. He just sat there. Said nothing. Finally, he whispered, I think she's sick. No, Matt. She's evil. He looked up, eyes watery, and said the one thing I didn't expect. She's done this before. What? She ruined my ex's photography business. Left fake Yelp reviews. Pretended to be an unhappy customer. Got her blacklisted from 2 venues in town. He'd known. He said, I was afraid if I stood up to her, she'd cut me off. She paid for my student loans. I didn't want to lose that. That was it. He let this woman tear apart my work, my income, my reputation, because he didn't want to upset her. Now it all made sense. This wasn't just about Diane. This was about what kind of man I married. And suddenly, I realized my revenge wasn't going to be just for me. It was going to be for every person she'd hurt, and every coward who let her. After Matt admitted what Diane had done to his ex, something snapped in me. I'd been playing defense for months, documenting everything, waiting for the right moment. But now, I realized I'd been giving everyone too much credit, hoping they'd do the right thing, hoping they'd feel bad. They didn't. And they wouldn't. So I stopped hoping. I started preparing to go nuclear. First, I hired a business attorney. Quietly. Paid cash. I laid out everything: emails, screenshots, video evidence, timestamps, customer messages. He sat there for a long time after I finished. Then he said, You've got a case. Identity theft, defamation, maybe even wire fraud if she took payments pretending to be you. That's all I needed to hear. Next, I contacted Allison, the woman who'd been scammed by the fake account, and asked if she'd be willing to give a statement. She agreed instantly. Said she felt terrible when she found out she'd sent money to someone impersonating me. I sent her a full refund out of my own pocket, just to protect my brand. But I let her know it wouldn't end there. Then I reached out to Etsy. I had everything in a PDF. Timeline, links, customer complaints, screenshots of the fake email account, and proof it was tied to Diane's number. Etsy didn't respond right away. But when they did, they escalated it. In the meantime, Diane was still living in her house. Still acting like nothing was wrong. Still pretending to be polite while taking slow, deliberate digs at me. Some people just aren't cut out for the real world. Must be nice to sit around all day making bracelets. I'm just trying to help you grow a thicker skin. Every word just added fuel to the fire. I started locking my office. She noticed. Do you not trust me? She asked with this fake little chuckle. I didn't answer. I didn't even look up. Then one night, she tried the doorknob. It was about 2 a.m. I saw the footage on the camera the next morning. She stood there in her robe for nearly 5 minutes, jiggling the handle, whispering something I couldn't quite hear, like she was talking to herself. Something was wrong with her. Matt acted like he didn't notice. He'd completely shut down since our last big talk. He didn't ask questions, didn't offer support. He just came home, ate, scrolled through his phone, and went to bed. Like he was hoping if he ignored it all long enough, it would just go away. But I wasn't ignoring anything. I was collecting names. I looked up the vendors Diane used to talk about. Her bridge group. Her condo, HOA board. Her church, social circle. I found all of them. I made a list. I started calling around. Casual. Friendly. Just checking in. I'm Diane's daughter-in-law. Has she ever mentioned a little online shop she follows? I wasn't accusing her yet. I was just laying the groundwork. Some of them had heard of me, only they hadn't heard good things. She told me you were a scammer once, one woman said. Didn't you get shut down for fraud? Said another. She said you cursed out a bride. That was the moment I realized something bigger. Diane hadn't just left one review. She'd been poisoning my name in real life, using her connections, her social circles, her little gossip chains. And that's when the revenge started to take shape, not petty, not fast, but big, public, controlled. She thought she was untouchable. She thought no one would ever see her for what she really was. She had no idea I was about to drag her out into the light. I waited until Diane's condo was ready. She had just started packing when the call from Etsy came. They were shutting down the fake account. They'd also flagged my real shop for suspicious duplicate listings. Because of her. But now that I had proof, they lifted the warning and reinstated my listing priority. They even featured one of my custom pieces on their front page. Sales bounced back almost overnight. But that wasn't enough. I wanted her to feel what I felt: humiliation, exposure, loss. So I sent her a certified letter. Official tone. No emotion. From my attorney. It laid out everything: the impersonation, the defamation, the video footage, the fraud. It demanded she issue a written public apology and reimburse me for the refund I gave to Allison, plus the estimated business losses during the time of her interference. If she didn't, we'd file. She screamed at Matt when she got it. I heard her from the living room. She's blackmailing me.
No, Diane.
That's called consequences. She left our house 2 days later, suitcase wheels clattering against the wood floor like a tantrum on wheels.
Didn't say goodbye.
The apology came 2 weeks later. Handwritten, barely legible through the rage. She tried to spin it, called it a misunderstanding, said she was concerned about how my business affected Matt and wanted to test the market's response. My lawyer told me I could push for more, small claims, maybe even criminal complaints. But I didn't need that. Because the next part hit her where it hurt. I sent her confession, along with every screenshot, to her HOA board, her church's outreach coordinator, her bridge group admin, and the wedding venues where she'd badmouthed me. The fallout was instant. She was removed from her HOA committee. Her church quietly stopped inviting her to volunteer events. Her bridge group told her not to come back. And the final nail? I created a blog post, public, detailed, and backed by every receipt, titled, How My Mother-in-Law Tried to Ruin My Business and Got Caught. I didn't use her full name, just her first and last initial. But anyone who knew her would know. I posted it on my shop's blog and linked to it in a tweet that went viral in the handmade artist community.
Support poured in.
Strangers shared their own MIL horror stories. Customers started ordering in solidarity. Some left messages like, "Screw Diane," in the order notes. And Matt? He stayed silent through it all. One night, he asked, "Do you think we can come back from this?" I looked at him. "No," I said. Because it wasn't just Diane. It was him choosing her, over and over. Watching me suffer, and doing nothing. We divorced quietly 3 months later. I gave him the house. I didn't want it anymore. I moved into a smaller apartment, rebranded my shop, and tripled my customer base within the year. Sometimes I wonder if Diane ever looks at what I've built now. If she sees my new designs in featured Etsy emails. If she hears my name mentioned in maker circles and realizes none of her lies stuck. But I don't care if she does. Because she already lost everything that gave her power. Her mask slipped. Her influence crumbled. And now, every time she walks into a room, she doesn't know who knows what. That's the best part. She's not just exposed. She's alone.